Welcome to Home Services Radio, brought to you by Jim. This is Stone Payton and Lee Cantor here with you. Lee, this is going to be a fantastic segment. Please join me in welcoming to the broadcast with Kjs Window Cleaning and 5-Star Home Pros, Miss Amber Jones. Good morning, Amber.
Good morning.
Hey, Amber, before we get too far into things, can you tell us a little bit about Kjs Window Cleaning? How you serving folks?
Sure, yeah. We are a local family-owned window cleaning in the Dallas area, specifically Frisco, Texas. We do residential window cleaning, and sorry I wasn't ready for that, but we're here to serve our local clients.
So now, tell us about the evolution of that business. How'd you get started in that?
So this business got started out of necessity, actually. My husband was doing data entry, and I had an advertising agency that I was kind of running. I love marketing, but my health took a decline to the point that I just couldn't do it anymore. And my husband had to figure out a way to provide for us, and he knew that his job wouldn't cut it. And so he went to YouTube, researched what he could do, and he came across window cleaning. And I didn't believe him at first. He says, "Hey, I want to try it." And I said, "You know what? You believed in me, so it's my turn to believe in you. Let's just go at it full throttle and see what happens."
And then, so window cleaning, tell us about that service. What is the pain that the customer's having, and then what is the service you provide?
Sure, yeah. So window cleaning is more so, we started with storefronts, but we moved to residential. And the residential side of things, it's more so of a luxury-based service. The pain point really for our customers is really we're just trying to provide them with a service that will beautify their home. People have pride in their home, you know, and so what we sell them is we sell them on our service. And honestly, window cleaning is one of those things that if you've never had it done before, you don't appreciate it until you've had it done. I mean, we can't tell you how many clients we've said, "Oh my gosh, I'll never go with dirty windows again." So just the warmth, the light that it brings into someone's home, just the happiness. In all honesty, I mean, the look that you get on a client's face is believable when they see the after results, immediate gratification.
Now, was it difficult to build up a clientele since it sounds like it's something that people appreciate more after they've had it, but don't think to get it?
Right. Yeah. So it was difficult at first. We did what most people do. We started with we started with a special. We underpaid ourselves. We started with like 20 windows for $99 inside and out, and it was brutal. But we did that in order to build a client base. And what we did was we asked them in exchange. We said, "Hey, all we ask in exchange is that you share your experience with us online." And so we cut our prices when we first started, but we did it with a purpose of helping to build our reputation and having them share with their neighbors and things like that. So that's kind of how we got started.
And that's a great tip for other business people out there. So instead of looking at it as you're kind of discounting, you can look at it as you're investing in kind of social media and advertising.
Right. And so the way we positioned it actually is we came up with our full price pricing, and then we knocked 50% off. So that way we let them know, hey, this is our normal price for it. But what we can do is we're running a special right now for 50% off. All we ask, and like I said, all we ask in return is that you share your experience online. It'll help us out greatly. And it works like a charm.
And then what was the point where you were realizing, hey, this could work? This really, we have something here.
When we were able to support our family, and then just, like I said, just going with it when in the neighborhood, it kind of took off really. When we noticed it was when we were able to start booking neighbors, like 2 houses on one street within the first day or a couple of days. That's when we started seeing the power of kind of just leveraging, using leverage as much as possible to grow.
Now, you mentioned that YouTube was important. Was that important in terms of how to execute the service? Like, how did you leverage YouTube and videos?
So videos, we use videos throughout our process from the start to beginning. So I actually am no longer in the field with my husband to help. And I was usually the talker, right? So he cleaned the outside, I cleaned the inside, and I was the one that made the homeowners feel warm and fuzzy, right? And as my health continued to decline, I said, well, you know what? I'm going to do videos along the way from start to finish. When they go to our website, I want them to see a video. I want them to see our face. When they request an estimate, hey, there's a video that greets them and says, hey, you're on the right page if you want an estimate. After they request an estimate, there's another video letting them know, hey, we're working on your estimate. We'll be with you in 24 hours. And so I started leveraging video, number one, to replace myself. But number two, I realized that what people love and what differentiated us from other companies was communicating and setting proper expectations along the way. And so I leveraged video to communicate what the homeowner could expect in the next step of our process.
And then when you were doing that, I'm sure compared to other people that are not even in the window cleaning, but in just kind of that home services field, that level of care that you would do that probably stood out like crazy. You were probably creating kind of super fans, right?
Yeah. Well, the coolest thing is, and this is what I wanted. Our goal was to let people know who's coming to their house, right? So the reason behind this was because we rent. And whenever something went wrong in our house, our landlord would send someone over, and I wouldn't know who they would send over. I think it'd be someone from Craigslist or something like that. And I literally would have panic attacks. And I didn't want our customers to feel that way. I said, you know what? I want them to know who's coming to their house. I want them to know, what to expect. And the coolest thing is when you come to their house, you ring the doorbell and they say, hey, Amber, or hey, Kelvin.
Right. They already know you, right? Because through the videos, really cool. They already kind of feel like they know you a little bit.
Yeah, they're not super fancy videos. I do it all on my cell phone. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just talk. And I think they appreciate the authenticity of it.
Now, how did you come up with this idea about creating the ultimate client experience? What was the thought process to care that much to create that kind of an experience for your customer? Right.
So this is something that nowadays it seems like customer service is a dying thing. It's something that you're surprised if you get good customer service, and so. Just in realizing that there are tons of options that people can do when it comes to home services, window cleaning, anything like that. And so what we started doing is instead of selling window cleaning, we started selling the experience, making people feel warm and fuzzy about the whole experience. It's kind of like going to the Apple store or Buc-ee's. You go to these certain stores and they say, hey, welcome to Buc-ee's, right? And you're just like, oh my gosh, that's awesome, right? And it makes you want to come back for more. And that's really what we want to pass on to people that choose us. We appreciate them choosing us, and we know that they could pick anyone else. So we're going to try to go above and beyond and do things that you don't even expect us to do to help you feel that warm and fuzzy and know that we have your best interest in mind.
Now, how do you answer the question when people ask, well, why can't I just do this myself?
You know what? I give them a blog article and say, you know what? Absolutely, you can. Here's how you can do it. Because a lot of people don't realize how physically labor intensive some of these services are. And a lot of times you'll win good points either way, right? So if they take what you learn, they take it, if they take your list, go to Home Depot, go wherever, go buy their supplies, they'll try to do it. And they'll either be happy and then appreciative that you gave them that information, and they'll use you for something else, or they'll try it and be like, oh my gosh, this sucks. Let me just call them because this is way, way harder than I thought. So it's kind of like a win-win.
So now, do you have any advice for somebody that is thinking about starting their own home services business, some do's and don'ts?
Yeah. So the biggest thing, one of our biggest challenges that we started, and even honestly still is our challenge, is that we were living 100% off of what we are earning. And although we can grow, I feel like it has stunted our growth to an extent because we aren't able to reinvest back into the business. So number one is, if at all possible, still keep another small income coming in, at least when you're first getting started. And then the other thing is know your numbers. We went and we researched and we got a lot of advice from a lot of amazing people. But what we didn't realize was that we didn't attach a number to it. So, for example, someone says, hey, go put out flyers, go put out postcards, go do X, Y, Z. Ask them, like, how many would you recommend me get out? So Josh Latimer actually gave us a tip, and he says you have to get out 1,000 postcards a week if you want to get through like your slow season. And it was because he told us that exact number, we knew what to start with and we knew what to go for. So just know your numbers, because a lot of time what we think is a lot is really not at all what it takes. It usually takes about 100 times more than what you think it'll
right.
take.
Exactly. People underestimate the amount of money and the amount of time. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Now, for you, what's been the most rewarding part of this journey?
The rewarding part for me, the most. There's a lot of rewards in it. Number one, like I said, is the instant gratification, but I'm really proud of my husband. He went from, he didn't come from a very, he didn't have graduate college or anything like that, but he took a desire to provide for his family and a desire to do a good, awesome service. And we were able to team up with our strengths. I wouldn't be able to do it without him, and he wouldn't be able to do it without me. So he's kind of like the muscle behind it, and I'm kind of the brains, right? And just to see how we've grown over these last couple of years to now we're starting our third year, and now we're starting to see, what, this hard work is paying off. People are calling us back without, we're building a brand. And not only are we building a brand, but people know, like, hey, they're a little bit more expensive, but oh my gosh, it's worth it because they take care of us. And just to see something come from nothing, something from necessity is priceless. It's priceless, I have to say.
Now, when you serve your customers, do you give them the opportunity to kind of have a membership or a loyalty program where they can purchase this so many times a year that you'll come back and do this multiple times a year? Or is this kind of a one-time thing?
What we do is we normally recommend them come, every 6 months. We give a discount. And so we do their initial price. And then if they, depending on how soon they book again, whether it's 3 months or 6 months or a year, they'll save a certain percentage off. Maintenance plans is actually one of the things we want to boil down even harder this next year. So right now, our automated system sends out reminders. But our next step that I'm going to do is when our little welcome kit, we've got a little printout that we give our customers when we first get there. We're going to start pre-writing what the date for 6 months will be, right? Mm-hmm. So that way we can go ahead and get them on the calendar while we're actually there, ahead of time, and kind of, plant that seed.
Now, are you going to expand to other services, or are you going to just stay in this one area of the house?
So we do window cleaning. We currently do a great wintertime thing is like dryer vent cleaning, power washing. So we've kind of branched off a little bit to this like exterior cleaning, but we don't want to branch off too much too fast. We want to make sure that we're able to still grow at a rate and still be like specialists, so to speak, of our niche.
Do you partner with other like complementary services like carpet cleaning or some other like HVAC or things like that?
Absolutely. So what we've networked with some other local companies. We just call them up, glass companies. You're going to run into situations where, or what we call uh-ohs, right? You're going to run into situations where you need another home provider, or, clients will ask you all the time, hey, do you do house cleaning? No, we don't. But, here's a great company over here.
Right.
So it definitely does help to pre-call and build relationships with other home service niche providers as well.
And that's a good tip for that person out there that's starting out, is to build that kind of roster of trusted advisor people that are good at what they do, best in class, so that you all can team up together.
Right.
All right, Amber. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. Well, before we wrap, there's one more thing I had a question about. I was looking at your site, and there's Kjs Window Cleaning, but there's also, 5-star Home Pros. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so really quickly, we decided to kind of document our journey and growing our business and, the ultimate client experience, email templates. Like I said, I came from a marketing background, and so this is kind of fun for me. It's fun for me. And so what we've done is over the last year or so, we've kind of recorded a couple of things that we've done in our business. And it's not specific to window cleaning. You could take a lot of things that we do and adapt it to pretty much any home service that you do. So it's kind of my way of giving back because we've had so much help from so many other places and people. So I created the 5starhomepros.info to kind of just document our journey along the process. And if we can help anyone else in the process, it'll be an awesome blessing that we can pass on.
Wow, that's very generous of you. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, no problem.
And then if somebody wanted to learn about KJ's or 5-star, what are the websites?
So for our residential window cleaning website is kjswindowcleaning.com. So kjswindowcleaning.com. And then if you're a home service, if you guys want to connect with us personally, it's the number 5starhomepros.info. So 5starhomepros.info is how you can reach us.
Good stuff, Amber. Thank you so much for sharing your story today.
Man, thank you guys for having us. It's a pleasure.
All right. Well, this is Lee Cantor for Stone Payton. We will see you all next time on Home Services Radio.